My parents were really young when I was born. They were teenagers. My mom was 16 when she had me. It was rough, to say the least. Rough would be minimizing it. My mom was a fairly violent person and abusive to my sister and I. And, my dad was pretty much non-existent. He was working, and we were left at home with a mentally ill mother who herself had no love for God. So she taught me that God hated me and that he would always hate me. And so it would be a waste of my time to think that I could maybe run to him. I actually left home at 15, and I had met a boy then who was a few years older than I was. And so when I didn't have anywhere to go, I contacted him, and then I kind of left in the middle of the night and moved to Idaho. We got married the day after my 18th birthday. We lived an interesting life, drugs and alcohol and all the choices that the world promotes. We got divorced because he became physically abusive. At a certain point, I just thought, well, maybe I need to go home. The last thing I wanted to do was move in with my mom anywhere, but she offered to help me. Unfortunately, my mom's help was not always the kind of help that you would want. The first day I was there, we immediately went to a biker compound called the Devil's Disciples. Being involved in a motorcycle club is not anything that anybody thinks. Of course, at the time it seemed exciting, and they talked a lot about, we're a family and we take care of each other, and that's not how it is. Women are objects, women are used, women are beaten. At 25, I met my son's dad there. Pretty much every day during my pregnancy, he beat me unmercifully. Obviously, God's intention for me was to have this beautiful child, and it saved my life. Joshua taught me about unconditional love for the first time in my life. From that moment forward, I started seeking something. When my son was about 2, I knew that we had to leave. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works in a motorcycle club. You just don't get to leave. Literally, to get away from them, I had to hide and basically kidnap my own child. On November 19th of 2017, Pastor Jamie had an altar call at the end, and he said if anybody wants to recommit their life to Christ, today's the day. And I just thought that God was talking to me through him. For the first time in my life, I felt saved. And it was probably one of the most powerful moments of my life. Somebody recently told me, that hadn't seen me in a little bit, I don't know what it is about you, but you're just so different. And I said, well, God is just so huge in my life that maybe that's what it is. It just feels so different to have this kind of love affair with God, where I am his daughter no matter what I do. On a daily basis, I see how he works. For me, for just pretty much everybody that I know and have been praying for, I see his action in their life. God's grace and mercy has given me hope, even on days that I might feel hopeless. For the first time in my life, instead of falling down, I fall up.